So, a lot of people are worried about AI displacing people with their jobs, their careers. What are they gonna do? How are they gonna make money? Are we gonna use UBI? Stuff like that. Uh, if we want to be proactive, what we really should be doing now is creating communities for people to go to, self-sustaining communities where everyone pitches in. Everyone, they do, just like like the Amish, something like that. Because there are going to be a lot of people displaced, and I don't think UBI is the answer. What's going to happen, I think is going to happen, is you're going to see people lose their jobs, but you will also see less revenue coming in as well, because people won't have the money to buy other things. And we can, there's a lot of things that we can't even understand if we think about how easy it is to make content now, how easy it is to make movies and music. There's going to be a lot of things that gets concentrated that we don't even think about. Some of the things that I think is going to happen is we'll have more communal tools, things that are, you might need a tool for now I've talked about this before, but you might need a tool for a certain project, right? Like you're just creating on your own. Well, you don't need that tool all the time. So it's like you kind of like go to a library. You will see like more library type of things, but more for like tools or clothing even. I think that a lot more people will learn to live outside of the internet. Like a lot of people are just consumed with it. And there will be a rebellion that goes that hasn't caught on with technology, or the how technology is evolving, and these people are going to be left behind. But I think that they're going to start using internet less, and this is why I think like stuff like YouTube, it's not going to be as big as it is now. We will have more blockchain decentralized platforms where we don't have to worry about whatever we create taken down. I think that these communities that are created, they'll create their own cultures, and a lot of them won't have influence from other cultures. Let's just say like if like the mainstream is debauchery. Well, if I'm in like a family orientated community, I don't want that. I don't want that media being shown in my community. So you'll have distortion from that. So you'll have like, it might be known, but it'll be distorted in a different way. So like if I'm running the media or the propaganda of my community, and I see this, but I want people to know what's going on, I can just like put it in a prompt and switch it up a little bit, and that is what gets shown to everybody. I think there'll be a lot more cults that evolve, and I do think that people won't be big into, I've said this before, they won't be big into acquiring personal things, like physical things. It's going to be more of digital assets. Like instead of like you have a nice shiny car, that'll be for rich people, but like just normal people, you'll have that nice shiny car in the digital realm. You'll simulate it. It's a lot of simulations. And I also think that when the robots do come out, if we don't get like, we could end up being the robots if we get the brain implants, and I go off into my conscious pod and just have AI run my body, and I'm just off playing a video game or in the internet somewhere, kind of like daydreaming type of deal, but connected to the internet. And then AI just goes and does whatever functions it needs to do, and I don't even know. I'm not even controlling my body. That will happen, stuff like that. But there will also be like the robots that come out that take our jobs that we supervise and make sure that they do it correctly. Like I put something in the prompt, and AI isn't talking about what I'm like. It misunderstood what I was talking about, so I have to go and redo it. Like, no, not like this, but like this. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, you have to go correct it. You have to correct these robots. And I also think that work isn't going to be the grinding. I think we're all tired of grinding, right? Who's tired of grinding? Who likes to grind? I mean, the only people that I know like to grind are the people that are like business owners or people like to. We're not going to really probably have bosses. You might only have to work 4 hours a week to acquire enough assets for basic survival. Whatever that may be, whatever that work is. It could just be supervising. It could just be like, I don't know, like something simple that anybody can really do. I'm sure they'll simplify it, right? AI will make it condensed and easy for us to just go and push this one button or something like that. Or we're playing a video game, and as we're playing the video game, it's mining Bitcoin or something. I don't know. I think that the fiat currencies are going to totally collapse. I think that a big reason is it's just too many numbers. I don't want to deal with all those numbers. So I think that Bitcoin and other currencies will definitely happen, and people are going to have a different mindset, man. People are going to they're not going to care about trying to sell stuff. They're not going to try to like. I think that the brain implants that people get, which I'm going to get, I want to make sure that it's good though, and it's tested. But I think it's going to help regulate our emotions. I think it's going to help like chill us out when it comes to always having to strive for something. You always have to continue. It's just like we'll kind of just be able to be content, and a lot of us will have enlightenment in our lives. We'll have the time. Like who the hell likes to go to work? Basically, work might be like socializing. That might be work. People have a lot of time on their hands, and they're gonna want to help other people. I would think. I wouldn't think that like things are just gonna keep how they are now, where the elites are just continuing to pile on and take from everybody else while they keep on getting richer, like the K-shaped recoveries that we have to endure, possibly we are enduring now. But I think that they'll be more humanitarian. I think that they're going to want to actually like give back and be able to connect like a real human. Some of them might not, but I think that some of them will. And I think they're going to be like, I want to connect with other humans. I want to be in different communities. And also, we're going to have the ability to be more mobile where we're at. We'll be able to go to different places so much easier. Like, it's going to be a lot easier to travel. You're not going to have to carry like a bunch of bags with you. You're going to want to... What are we going to do with our time? I don't know. We're just gonna like socialize, like I said. You go into a bar or something like that. There'll be like these different places where there's themed communities where I want to go see how it felt to live back in the 1860s, and everything's gonna be basically 1860s with a little bit of a modern feel to it. You know what I mean? So when you go there, you don't have to have a whole suitcase of clothes. They just have like the community clothes that you can just go, pick out. And if something that you're not going to keep it, you're going to give it back. And if it gets messed up, then there might be like a deduction of a social credit. Yeah, we're going to have social credit. We already have social credit score, man. What do you think the credit scores are? It's a type of a social credit score. That's going to be something that keeps people in line. Like, why are you doing this? And there's definitely going to the people that's going to be affected the most are the people who can't adapt. They can't adapt to technology has been booming in my lifetime. I've seen it get so much better so quickly, and it's just going to keep doing that even more rapidly. The stuff that we can't even think about right now, nobody, how many people were thinking about making YouTube or whatever 40 years ago? You know what I mean? A lot of this stuff like AI or whatever, maybe they did behind the scenes or something, but it wasn't mainstream. It wasn't even thought of as mainstream. And a lot of the stuff you see in different sci-fi stuff, it will become somewhat of a reality. There will be pockets of resistance for sure, and people shouldn't be forced to live in a high-tech society. I don't think everyone's cut out for it unless they get the brain implant to help regulate their emotions and relax them. It might tie it into the DMT feeling. I don't know. We'll see. I think that women will go back to being women. I think they'll be the guys are the only jobs. The guys will just pretty much just do the jobs. You're not going to see very many women doing work. I mean, it's just not going to happen. You'll see even a lot of women that are gay right now. They're staunch lesbians. I think that they might actually turn the other way out of survival if they want. If they want to keep in the high-tech society. And like I said, we need to have different communities for people who fit them best. Maybe not everybody wants to be in a high-tech society or whatever. Maybe they want to be like the Amish. We're not going to have everyone's forced to be in a pod. It's not going to happen, man. And like I said, the pod is probably, unless it's going to be a prison, a physical pod, it's going to be more of a mental pod. Stuff like that. We're not going to care about money. It's going to become a lot less of a nuisance. I think of money as a nuisance, to be honest. It's something that I wish I could just I wish I can go to different places and do different things and not really have to worry about money. You know what I mean? Why do I go home and come and go to work and that's it? Because I am so conservative with my money because I don't know what the hell's going to happen and I need to make sure that I can pay my bills. So yeah, I can go ahead and take a vacation somewhere. I just think that things are just going to be free. People are going to want to put on performances for free. They're just going to want to do it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff just going to become free. People aren't going to really care about money. If you work, you should be able to save your money. But if we do have a UBI, if you don't use it, you shouldn't be able to keep accumulating it. I think we definitely have to create community. So like they are behind on that. If it is crazy to me, like somebody, I don't know if this is true, but some I was watching Jack, and some dude said there's like an 18-year waiting list for affordability for like basically Section 8. You know what I mean? Like that stuff needs to like be put to an end. And I'm thinking if they want to try to help people in the transition, then you need to let people take out like 1,000-year mortgages, man, where we don't know what's gonna happen. Do you want to have a bunch of people with pitchforks coming at you, you rich people? You know, you got to think a little bit farther ahead than just the quarter, like your profits right now. You need to think about how it's affecting everybody else. It doesn't people, you can't just like corner yourself off anymore. I think that's something that people are going to do less of. You're going to see less isolation. You're going to see more of a balance. You know, people are going to still use the internet, and they're still going to go in the simulation type of video game worlds and stuff. I'm really going to do that myself, but it's just the balance of coming out into reality. And, you know, is it bad if I'm a drug addict and I'm trying to get off of drugs, and I can just put myself into, I can disconnect my body and just go into my like a dream state for a few months until AI regulates my body. Like if I'm an alcoholic, it slowly gets me off. You know, you don't have to deal with the withdrawals, and then you come out of it and like you got good habits. You know, stuff like that. You know, is gonna happen. You know, people are afraid because, you know, it's a lot like people rejecting the intercom drive-through AI back in 2023. It was a Checkers, and it was cool. I liked it. I even felt it. I think I made a video on here. I put it up, but people, like I said, people will reject it, but the youth won't. The people that's going to reject it are old people that don't know how to use it, or they don't want to. It's kind of like the boomers now. You know how people make fun of the boomer? Oh, you don't know how to program this. You don't know how to like set up your TV. It's going to be like that, you know. It's usually going to be old people that can adapt. And like I said, we need to create places for people to go where they can be in communities where they all pitch in to some degree. Even if you're like you're shoveling shit or whatever, like whatever they need you to do, like you're contributing. We need more communities like that. Communist type of communities. We need more communist type of communities, to be honest. When that happens, when everything is basically free, but you have to put in work. You can't just sit here and then, you know, oh, you're a communist. No, I'm not a communist. I don't like communists, but it can work in different levels. Look at the family structure. You know, the dad, he's the one that went to work, brought all the money home, and the wife took care of the house and the kids. You know, that's kind of like a communist thing. There's no individuality in there. Everyone serves a purpose. Everyone makes sure that they're doing their job and helping out if they need to be helped out. It'll be more like that, more communal stuff like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing, but we don't need that on a massive scale. On the massive scale, that doesn't work unless all of the jobs are done by robots, basically. But yeah, we're not going to have to work nights anymore. We're not going to have to commute really far anymore. If we have to commute, it'll just... Yeah, and that's the thing, too, is you're going to be able to commute really easy and go to different places and work. You're not just going to have to go to the same place and work all the time. You know, you look on your phone like, oh, okay, I'm living in LA or whatever. But they have work for me over in Illinois. And I can go work there for a week or whatever, and then I have enough money for the whole year. Prices are going to drop. It's going to be easier to move around. Just think about information. Look at how easy it is for us to move around compared to the old days, and look at how easy information. It's going to accelerate. You know, and you're not going to have to sit here and drive stuff anymore. Oh, then going, like, who likes to drive? Who likes to drive in the city? I think it's so annoying. It's too much responsibility. I hate maintaining my car. I hate having to pay property tax on my car. I hate having to worry about if I'm going a little bit too fast and getting pulled over. No, I just want the robot to handle it. I don't understand why people still want to sit here and drive. It's so boring. Stop, start, stop, start. Oh no, here comes the light. You know what when the lights, it turns yellow and you're not far. You're just like in the middle where you're in a basic gray position. If you hit the gas and accelerate really quickly, then you'll get through the intersection. At least you'll be in the middle of the intersection by the time the light turns red, or you have to stop. And it's like your momentum is going fast enough where you have to make that decision really quickly. And I hate that crap. I get the little stop. I have to stop, and then I get the beep 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 on my progressive thing, and it's like, it's not even my fault, man. If I would have kept going, I would have crashed somebody. So we're not gonna have to drive as much, and we're not gonna have to drive at all, which is amazing. And you'll be able to drive in simulations, and I'm sure there's gonna be places and communities where they still have old cars, and maybe they manufacture. And you're gonna be able to go into the future and then go into the past, like, and go into different communities. And you know, it's basically, you can live in different, and you can settle in different communities, and you're like, okay, I want to live in the 1850s or whatever, or the 1990s, and you just go stay there, and then like you're part of the background, and like you dress how the community wants. You know what I mean? So you'll be dressing like the old days. You'll be dressing like people did in the 90s. And, you know, so when people come and visit, it's like you're going back into the 90s, you know. We're going to have all different types of communities. That's why we need to consolidate this land. We need to take Greenland. We need to take Canada, Mexico, some parts of Central America, maybe the whole thing. That way people can develop communities. We have to let people develop communities without government restrictions, as long as they're not destroying stuff and doing like that. We need to bring back the whole going out west, or there's so much land that nobody lives on, that's just barren, that we can build on, and here, just here in America. But yeah, that's something that if people were smart, these elites were smart, something that they would get on right now. And I know it sounds crazy, and everyone's in debt. Who are we in debt to? Like the very few? Everybody's in debt. So fiat currency is out, and it's going to go to more blockchain technology. But you will see different communities that go old school. Like when you go to a community that's in the 1700s or whatever. Like everything is legitimately 1700s. Maybe they don't have any type of modern technology. Maybe they have like a little place where people can go, and if they want to experience that modern technology a little bit in the community or in their home. But when you come out, everything, so what you trade in like gold or silver coins, or even people like make communities even farther back and they barter, the robots will do all the work for us, and we need to get out of the mindset where we have to like grind and work and do these menial jobs that we don't even like to do anyway. What are we going to do with our time? Have families. We're going to have experiences. Imagine having a family and then be able to go to these communities and not only like experience these communities in the digital realm, but you'll be able to do it in real life as well. So what if like my daily life is like old school? I'm just like I go to sleep, I come out, everyone comes out during the day. I think that like at night everything will probably be a lot of these communities will be shut down, and then they'll come out the next day and everyone's like playing a character. We're all playing characters, or you know what I mean, we're our own individual character, but we're playing a character in old school times. You talk like the old school people, you know what I mean? And so when people come in and you'll be able to tell because they won't be able to fit in as quickly, but when they come into town, maybe it's a requirement where they have to change their clothes, and you know what I mean? You can't just like come in and take pictures like wearing your futuristic clothes. Well, if you want to, everything will be like, I guess this is the utopia I'm talking about, but the transition is we need more communities to be able to be self-sustaining, where they grow their own food and do all that stuff without the help of all these supply chains. And another thing too is we're going to, instead of like having to make something somewhere and then ship it, no, we're going to have everything's going to be 3D printed. It's not only going to be stuff that we do now, like plastic stuff, but they're going to 3D print organs. They've talked about this. Food, all that stuff. That's gross. Like, look at the food now. You're trusting other people that could mess up the food that you're eating. Look at the recalls. People will eventually adapt. People at first, maybe I'll be like, oh, that's gross. That's 3D. That's 3D printed meat. That's gross. But eventually, I might just think that's cool. I like it. Maybe it's really, really good for my body, and it tastes like really amazing. Now I'm gonna end up being transhuman for sure, because I'm gonna get that brain implant for sure. I don't. Oh, you're weird. You're gonna get the brain implant. Yeah, because at some point I'm gonna have Alzheimer's, and I'm not gonna have my family members wiping my ass when I'm old. I don't know what to tell you. When I eventually pass, I want to be like 100% reliable on myself. I don't want any of that, and I don't want a nurse doing that. If I can't do it myself, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to go, because nobody should be doing that but me. So yeah, the industries that are going to be best are going to be the dirty jobs, and those jobs would be the last to go. Nursing's going to be good too, so but yeah, I'm tired.